Welcome everyone. Welcome Gonzalo from
Hi,
London.
hello. Hi.
Gonzalo is a Hostify user, and as we mentioned, as Mark already mentioned, he will be the guinea pig to show the real audit in life. And welcome the star of the day, which is going to be Mark. I'm pretty sure you can introduce yourself and explain a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Mark. I'm a founder of a company called Boostly. I was one of these rare breeds where I was born into the world of hospitality. And I spent the first 20 years of my life living in a bed and breakfast. It was a farm stay, 200 acre in the northeast of England in a little town called Scarborough. And yeah, I was just used to having strangers in my house all the time. We had 14 guest rooms, free cottages. And for that first 20 years, I wanted to do one thing and one thing only, and that was escape. I started doing soccer coaching, traveled all of America coaching soccer, which was amazing. Did 8 years doing that. And then at some point in the noughties, 2008, 2009, my parents said, "What are you doing with your life?" and basically came back to the family business. And I'd say since 2011, I've been in it full time after having a little stint in London, just like where Gonzalo is. So I've been full-time hospitality since 2011. 2016, I had an idea for Boostly to help host with direct bookings. And then in 2021, we exited our family business for a lot of zeros. And one of the main reasons why we got so much money for it is because we were at 80% direct bookings. And since then, Boostly's been everything. We've looked after 2,000 clients in the world. We predominantly do website design, but we do a lot of other things as well. And we obviously have a great partnership with Hostify. And in the last 10 years, our clients have generated over $1 billion in bookings, which is pretty cool. And I've got some cool things to show you. Got some really interesting things to show you, some latest news and stats and something that you can all do. And we're going to focus on your Airbnb listing, and I'm going to explain why it's so important. So I'm really excited to do this. We're going to be probably running for about 45 minutes, because in 45 minutes, I'm going to have 4 kids charged through that door, 4 kids, and they're going to be wanting to do bedtime routines and all that great stuff over here in the UK.
Amazing, Mark. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much.
Before we start with Mark interaction and with the audit, the real audit I will do just a few questions and a quick presentation about myself. So I'm Joan, I'm the CRO for Hostify. I've been on the industry as well for a while. I used to work in Expedia, in a property management company as well, in the hotel industry as well before. And after I've been now with the PMS and the software tech for like almost 6 years. I've been doing everything from sales, marketing, starting to end up in CRO, in more overviewing all Hostify new revenue and organizing as well events and new sales process. So in order to start meeting you a little bit more, so I would like to start, we see here some interactions and some polls, so you can start clicking. So I would like to know what are the range of properties that you manage all around what we said already, Colombia, in Croatia, Bulgaria. So if you can start answering all these questions, and I will let you know as well a little bit more. Obviously, Mark will explain you better why it makes such a big difference, these kinds of audits. Many people think only changing prices, it makes already a big difference, but actually changing small descriptions or pictures already, it makes even a bigger difference that actually changing prices or revenue, different strategies. Sometimes we overcomplicate ourselves, and there are simple steps that you can take. Okay, we can see we have not bad numbers. So we have one big one with more than 100 properties, and we have a mix. The majority has between 6 to 20. All right, so the next question will be more about what is your current booking. So since we are speaking more about direct reservations, Airbnb, we see a lot of things happening on the political. So I'm going to end this interaction, and we're going to start with this one. So much better. How are we doing? So much worse. Okay. Okay, so since we are going to be here, Mark is going to give us some insights. How can we improve these performances? So slightly better. We see some optimistics. All right. So knowing this, what do you think is going to be your priority for the next 6 months? And then again, here it's what we are talking about, the topic. So trying to focus more on the direct bookings, trying to reduce your cost on the commissions, optimizing pricing, occupancy rates. Obviously a big topic, scaling operations, of course. This is one of the most complex topics in the industry. Improving guest experience. I can see that nobody is caring about it. Okay.
No one cares about the guest experience.
All right. What will be for you more important than any of these, Gonzalo, for example?
Optimizing pricing and revenue, probably.
Okay.
At the moment.
And for you, Mark?
For me, the most important thing this year from this for this list, what would be the most important thing that I'll be looking to do would be, yeah, scaling operations. I think is a big one, personally speaking, for Boostly. What do I see for the whole of our clients is the top one, increasing direct bookings. Everybody sort of joins Boostly with one goal in mind, is that's to get more direct bookings. So yeah, I think for our clients, it'd be increasing bookings, and then for Boostly, me personally, scaling operations for sure.
All right. So I'm going to do one more question, and then I will pop up the last two while you're doing your presentation.
Yep.
So what do you think is the main factor holding these bookings that you're not getting, no? And again, here, very related on what Mark is going to explain us. So do you think it's the lack of direct bookings, the dependence that you have on the OTA that you're only focusing, what Gonzalo said, like focusing on the price and revenue? Maybe it's the low demand, some markets, maybe they are dropping.
Yeah, okay, a bit of all of them, probably.
The mix, yeah.
Yep.
All right, quite a mix. Mostly low demand. Of course, we are now finishing January and February. For most of the markets, it's a very low season.
Yep.
And we're coming up right for the Easter period.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna pass it over to you, Mark. So you can start with the audit. You can start sharing your screen. So the room is yours.
Excited for this, and thank you to everybody that has posted their links to their Airbnb listings. That's fantastic. We will get to these audits, but before we get into the good stuff, I need to explain the context as to why we're doing this today and why I reached out to the team and said, hey, let's run this. So I'm going to share my screen. In a second, you should be able to see some slides. When you need a slide, just put #slides in the chat for me. The big thing about my webinars, my presentations, the way that I like to work is that I like it to be very, very interactive. So please, if it's safe to do so, don't sit on your hands. Get ready, get typing, and get ready to interact, because at the end of the day, the information that I give is purely based on how you interact with me with this for this next 30 minutes. And the more that you can pay attention to this, the better your business will be. Obviously, I know some people like to tune into webinars when they're driving or cooking or whatever. If it is unsafe for you to do so, or you got little hands or anything near you and it's you can't do it, absolutely fine. But if you can, really, really massively appreciate it. And again, Katrina's just put a very good question in the chat. Something like, we get most bookings from Airbnb, but not from booking.com. How to improve this? You know, any questions that are top of mind, pop it in the chat. There is no wrong question, right? Whatever you have got top of mind, pop it in the chat, and I'll see how we can dig into it in these next sort of 45 minutes. It's an open conversation, especially when it comes around marketing, anything around marketing. I'm more than happy to help you with it. So first and foremost, I'm going to show you just 3 or 4 slides, and it explains why we do this, right? So Brian Chesky, CEO of Airbnb, obviously, he was on stage last year in 2005, and he was explaining how he would like for Airbnb to become the Amazon of travel. Now, that set off a little spidey signal in my mind when he said that. And I'm going to tell you why that is worrying to me. So Amazon, we all know it. We all use it. You know, it dominates the e-commerce industry, in particular the book industry. And I know this firsthand because in 2022, I published and released my very first book. It's called The Book Direct Playbook. All right. If you don't know how to find it, just go onto Amazon and type in Book Direct Playbook. Now, when I released this book, and bearing in mind, it sold over 100,000 copies, which is phenomenal. It's been life-changing, fantastic. But there's a but. I had to put this on Amazon. I had no other option. I couldn't do it direct. Behind me isn't a printing press. My 3-year-old sleeps behind there. So I had to do it on Amazon. And just to give you a little bit of context, when I sell a book on Amazon, okay, I don't get the purchaser's first name, last name, email address, phone number. I get no information, right? I literally just get money in my bank every 3 months, right? And what's crazier than that is for every dollar that I make on Airbnb, I pay a very high commission. Now, can anybody in the comments, let's try and do this as a quiz, hazard a guess at how much commission for every book purchase I have to pay Amazon? Okay, who can guess? Just pop a number in the chat, anywhere from 1% to 100%. Let's just have a little think. So we've got a 20%, we've got a 35%, we've got a 90%. I'll tell you, it's 66%. So for every dollar that I get on Amazon, I have to pay them 66 cents, which is insane. Okay, couple that with the fact that I don't get a first name, last name, email, phone number, so I can't do any remarketing. It's crazy. Now, so let's just say why. Why can Amazon do that? They do that because they are the market leaders. They are the dominator for the book industry and for the e-commerce world, right? Now let's look at Airbnb. And I'm going to take you to this slide. Now, in 2017, Airbnb made up 15% of the market. Okay. In 8 short years, they have gone from 15% to 62%. And I'm waiting for that 2025 number, but I can only assume it's going to be higher. So they've gone from being the plucky underdog to being the market leader in 8 years. And that is 100% testament to them. They have not only caught up with Booking.com, they have not only caught up with Expedia in the short-term rental world, they have overtaken them, and now they are dominating. Now, again, when I see that Brian Chesky said that he would like Airbnb to become the Amazon of travel, that again, that gets me thinking, because we are right now at a very fortunate position where we can do direct bookings. Okay, you can communicate with a guest, you can get them to book direct, they can stay with you directly. We have that ability still. But there are signs to me that Airbnb are getting ready to take away that ability. Number one, I look at what they did last year. So what have they done last year? They've changed all of the policies behind the scenes. Number two, they put the commission up. So we talk about money. Some of you may be paying 3% per booking. Some of you may be paying 15.5% commission to Airbnb. That fee has gone up. Even if you were paying 15% before, as of November the 1st, that went up 15.5%. They are slowly but surely putting the fees up. And it is of my opinion that 15.5% is going to go to 20%. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it is going to happen. It's not a case of if, it's a case of when. Why do I think that? Well, last year, what did they do? They brought out services and they brought back experiences. And just to give you a little insight, if you're a vendor who has an experience on Airbnb, or if you're a vendor that has a services on Airbnb, they charge you a flat rate of 20% commission for every booking you get on that platform. Now, for you as a host, whether you've got one property or 100 plus properties, if your fee that you give to Airbnb goes up to 20%, what will that do to your profit margins? And again, it's not like you're getting a better service. It just means you're paying more money. Now, we are very fortunate in the world of hospitality that we do have free websites, free solutions that we can start a business today, go and take a couple of pictures, put it up on Airbnb, Booking.com, Vrbo, and be pretty much guaranteed to get revenue. That's very fortunate. Now, there's no other industry that I know out there that does that. Like when I started Boostly 10 years ago, I couldn't go onto a website, list my services, and have people signing up for it. I had to drag people kicking and screaming to do business with me. And so we are very fortunate in hospitality that when you start a business and you've got all of those plates spinning, if one of them, which is sales and marketing, is the Airbnb plate, you go, that's fine. My plate is spinning. Airbnb are taking care of my bookings. Now, the problem is that what happens when that plate stops spinning? When that plate stops spinning, that means your bookings aren't coming in. And if you are 100% reliant on Airbnb for the last 100 of your bookings, then you are at risk of building your business on their land. And this is what Airbnb wants. This is what Booking.com wants. This is what Expedia wants. And it is their prerogative to do so. This is not a slant or a slate against Airbnb, Booking.com, and Vrbo. That's their mission to do so. That's their right. But us as business owners, we can't do that. Because let's just set the example. And this literally happened to me 2 weeks ago. A client came to me. They're based in America, Tennessee, Memphis, and they had 5 properties. And they came to me and said, Mark, our Airbnb account has been suspended. And I said, why? And they said the guest complained of a camera being in the property. Of course, if your cameras are in the property, that goes against their T's and C's, and they've got the right to shut you down. But this camera in question was a ring camera at the door on the outside of the property, which is absolutely above board and part of their T's and C's. But because now and where we're at in the Airbnb journey, because they've grown to be such a Goliath, they don't have humans making decisions behind the scenes. They've got AI. They've got these AI robots. Or if they do have humans, they've got humans that can't think common sense. And what has happened is the guest has complained, and before Airbnb have even tried to reach out to the host, they've just suspended his listing per an investigation. Now that investigation took 4 or 5 weeks. And yes, they got the account back, but for 4 to 5 weeks, they could not take bookings. For 4 to 5 weeks, all of their bookings were cancelled. So for 4 to 5 weeks, the revenue was cut off from their business, and they were 100% reliant on Airbnb. Now they were doing a model where they had to still pay bills, right? 4 to 5 weeks, they had all these bills coming in and they couldn't pay it. They barely had the profit in the bank. So that was a very risky move by them because they put everything in the Airbnb basket. Luckily, they were able to get by. Luckily, we helped them build a direct booking system, and they're doing all right now. But they got risky for a while. Now, this is where I asked a question to you. At what scale on the screen are you at risk to Airbnb? So over the last 100 bookings or 10 bookings or whatever bookings, what percentage of those bookings are coming in from Airbnb? Is it 1%, 2%, 3%, 10%, 100%, 90%? Just pop it in the chat. Now, this is a safe space. There's no right or wrong answer here. Just lay it all out. We're open and we're all working together here. And before I even look at the chat, I have an assumption of what those numbers are going to be. I've asked this question on stage. I've asked this question in webinars. I've asked this question on podcasts. I've asked this question all over the world. I'm very fortunate over the last 10 years. I've got to speak on the best stages, speak in the best webinars, best rooms, because, of what I talk about is very, very topical. And the majority of people in the room when I ask this question, they always go above 75%. And when you are over 75% of your bookings are coming in from one channel or even from the OTAs, you're at high risk because A, you are dependent on these online travel agents for your booking. You have no direct channel. You have no guest data. Now, my goal for everybody, and I see there's one or two in the room, which is very cool, is to get everybody into this category here, which is risk. Now, the big misconception about me is that everybody thinks I'm going to get you to go cold turkey or delete your listings on Airbnb. It can't be further from the truth. They spend too much money in marketing for you to just delete your listings. You have to be visible everywhere, right? But what I want for you to do is to get over 65% direct, because when you are over 65% direct, you are in your own destiny. You are controlling your own destiny. So if, for example, your Airbnb listing gets shut down for whatever reason, suspended, you can go, oh, well, I've got direct, because the majority of your bookings are coming direct to you. And when bookings do come direct, it's not always a monitorial thing. It's the control. Because as you know, when a booking comes direct, you get the first name, last name, email, phone number. Fantastic. That's remarketing. But also as well, when you have a booking that comes direct, it's not, you haven't got a big brother or third party overseeing the process, right? When a guest books on Airbnb, you are so nervous and paranoid about them leaving a bad review. Because as we all know, you want to get that super host badge. You want to show it off nice and proud because you assume it means you get higher in the rankings, right? You all know that if you get a couple of bad reviews, and if your average ranking on Airbnb drops below 4.8, your listing is pretty much permanently can't be seen. You know, they'll make you on page 2. And if people can't see you, people can't book with you, right? And we've built an industry, we've built a persona that we are bending over backwards for an Airbnb guest because we are so afraid of them giving us a bad review. And unfortunately, the Airbnb public, the Airbnb guests know this, and they can and will and do use it against you. I've seen so many people that have faked complaints, that have faked AI to report bed bugs when there haven't been bed bugs. And Airbnb just always side with the guest because Airbnb's priority is not you. Airbnb's priority is their shareholders and their guests. And that's just unfortunately how it is. And again, this is no slant against them. It's their prerogative. It's how they do. You are just a clog in the machine. You are just like an author on Amazon. They know that if you leave, they'll just go and get somebody else. Now, you can't do anything about Airbnb, but what you can do is about your own business. And that's where I want to help. And the first thing that people always say to me, Mark, is, I don't know how to get direct bookings. Now, this is what I would love for you all to do. What are you struggling with when it comes to direct bookings? One of you put in the poll, you struggle with direct bookings. Be honest, be open. We're here as friends. Like, where do you struggle when it comes to direct bookings? Just list it out. Who's going to be brave enough to go first while I take a super quick sip? So we've got protection. We've got payment. Twitter, Hostify can help. Finding people to sell to. Really good one. Visibility. Good one. Let's see if there's any more. Visibility. I love how somebody just said the same as the person above. Now, I've got a really cool stat for you. A lovely stat that's going to give you confidence and hope that we can do this, right? So 65% of guests who book direct started their search on an OTA. So 65%. So 6.5 of your last 10 guests that have booked direct started their search on an OTA. So they've gone on to maybe Google, or they've gone on to wherever, Bing, they've gone on to social media, whatever. They've discovered where they want to go. Then they go on to maybe Google search. They put a thing in and they go on to airbnbverbobooking.com, right? Then they found the listing. And then from the listing, they've gone and found it direct. Now, if you're reading this and go, Mark, I have never, in all my time on Airbnb, ever have a guest find me direct, and say that they discovered me on Airbnb? Well, the reason why is that you're doing it all wrong. And that is what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you how to amend and optimize your listing to encourage your potential guests to find you direct. Now, this will take you about 5 to 10 minutes to amend. You can even try and update it as you're on the call with me, for those who like to multitask, or you can do it straight after. But what I'm going to show you is so simple, you're going to kick yourself that you weren't doing it before. Now, if this sounds good, and if this sounds like something worthwhile, just leave a W in the chat. Just hit the W button and just put a W in the chat. I think I need to see at least 5 W's for me to continue. We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3, we've got 4, we've got 5. Fantastic. And again, Gonzalo has very kindly been our guinea pig for this and going first. But like I said, if you would like for me to have a look at your listing to show you where you're going wrong, pop your listing in the chat and we'll have a look. We've got about 25 minutes. I'm going to try and go through as many as I can. So what we need to do is we need to do this marketing tactic that I absolutely love, which is called billboarding. Okay, billboarding concept is simple. Think about the last time that you went to the supermarket. I literally went to the supermarket today. I needed to buy some new detergent, okay? Because I've got 4 kids. We go through our washing very, very quickly. All right. Now, companies and brands, big brands, what they do is they spend a lot of money to make sure that their brand name is as visible as many places as possible. So, for example, billboards, number 1, newspaper ads, number 2, magazine ads, number 3, TV ads, radio ads, social media ads, Google SEO. It could be, you name it, they do it. They do it because wherever you look and turn, you are going to see their brand. And to the point where you walk into the store and you walk into the supermarket and you walk down the detergent aisle, when you are tasked with all this choice that's in front of you, your eye will go and recognize their brand. Okay? That is billboarding. Now, us as small business owners, I know that we have not got the budget to do all of those things, spend all those millions to do all those things. But what I'm going to show you costs 0 money, which is great. So I'm going to flick my screen over and we're going to come to this. So this is the one that Gonzalo very kindly offered up. It's part of his company, which is Prime City Host, that he is part of. Don't ask who Pablo is. We tried to ask before and it just says it is what it is. Right? So anyway, we're going to skip by that. But there are 3 bits of real estate on your Airbnb listing that you can brand your business. The first one, which is the most simplest one, is in your host profile. So every single one has a host profile on Airbnb, and you will see that there is a bio section here. Now, all of you, the first thing that you can do, log into your app, log into your desktop, go into the bio and hit amend. Now, the first thing that you can do here is you can go, hi, I'm Pablo. I'm the CEO and founder of, and the company name is Prime City Hosts. So my name is Pablo. I'm the CEO and founder of Prime City Hosts based in London and Dubai. The next line is check out our online reviews. They're really good. Something as simple as that, right? All the rest you can keep. We are host to several beautiful properties in London, yada, yada, yada. Contact me, yada, yada, yada. All of that is cool. But the most important lines are the first 2 lines because that is what people read. That's number 1. And if you're thinking, Mark, but nobody reads the profile, you'd be amazed at how many people read that profile when doing their research on Airbnb. Now, the second place is your pictures. Okay. Now, your photos, obviously, as you've all been taught and trained to do, is that your pictures should be done professionally. Number 1, they should sell the stay. Number 2, and they should really explain the property, the apartment, the home, whatever. Okay, these first 5 pictures are key. I'm not going to dispute that in any way, shape, or form. But what you can do is you can start to slip in here your business name. Now, if you were to look at the Airbnb T's and C's, you will know that watermarks are banned. It's a no-no. People do it. People try and get around the rules. I am not going to say do it. You have to not ask for permission, but beg for forgiveness, and Airbnb pull you up. I've seen people get pulled up by Airbnb. Just for context, Airbnb 2 years ago bought an AI tool. That AI tool is scanning their site, scanning millions of listings every single day, trying to look for any little thing that a host is doing to get around the rules, okay? Now, you can't do watermarks. No. But the next time that you have a photo shoot, here's what you can do. So when you're staging your pictures, do you see these pillows here? You can go on Vistaprint or insert name of somebody that's bespoke custom pillows, and you can get them to put your brand logo and brand name with the word direct on the pillowcase. Okay. Now this will get by any AI checker because it is built into the image. The guest will read it. They will see Prime City Hosts and book direct for best rates on the pillowcases, and they will go, oh, that's great. And then you can just basically move those pillows around the shop. Now, if we come in the lounge, I've seen people do custom pillowcases for the sofa here. Again, the logo, best rates book direct. Billboard it throughout the listing. Saw somebody once on this coffee table here, they had a big sign that said best rate when you book direct. You can go even more extra. I had a host who had cabins in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. They got a big bear costume. They dressed up one of their members of their staff, and the bear was stood there in the image holding a sign saying best rate when you book direct. Obviously, the bears are associated with mountains, but it was very funny, very cool, and it made impact because I still remember it to this day. So think about in your photo shoot where you can brand business. Okay. Number 3, and again, second one you can't do today. All right, very hard to do today, but you can do it on your next photo shoot. The first one you can easily do. The final place is your description. So you can easily do it on here as well. Again, after the guest has seen your pictures, the second thing they're doing is reading your description. So again, the first line of text is introducing apartment name. And yes, you need to brand your apartments and your listings. You can't just call it an apartment. You have to give it a unique name. And I'm going to show you a cool, easy, free way of doing this. But let's just say introducing our Studio Lux apartment, brought to you by Prime City Hosts in London. So apartment name, so branded name of the listing of the building, the apartment, by branded name of the company based in London. All right. Again, check out our online reviews. They're really good. First and second line. Then you can go on and talk about the description and listing. Okay. The reason being is that's the first thing that your future potential guests are reading. Now, you may be thinking, but Mark, like, does this work? Let me show you. This is why it works. So they go from here to Google to your website. So I'll walk you through that in a second. But just to give you a little bit more inspiration and like the urge to go and do this, is that in 2024, there was a massive TikTok trend. Whether you're on TikTok or not is by the by. But on TikTok, content creators that were traveling were posting these videos about how you can find the best rate to book an Airbnb property. And the reason why it got my attention is that these TikTokers were showing an Airbnb listing. They were doing the exact tactic that I was just showing you then. And they were showing on their TikToks how to go to Google, how to go to the website, and then how they would get the phone number or email and book direct. Those TikTok's got seen by hundreds of millions, if not billions of people. It got so popular that there was a tool created on the back of it. That tool is called Directo. If you want to know the domain, it's getto.com. Getdirecto.com. Again, if anybody's feeling generous, they can post it into the below. But what Directo is, it is a free Google Chrome extension that's on your dashboard. And when the tool is installed, like is here, I think I've got it on mine as it sits here. So when I've got it on my screen, and when I'm on Airbnb and on Airbnb listing, if that property is on Directo, it will say, hey, this property is better. The best price is direct, right? And if for whatever reason that property on there, it will help you find another one that is direct. For full context and clarity, this is not my tool. I am not an investor. I don't get paid to say this. I just love this tool. And this tool has been downloaded over, I think, 600,000 times. It's been downloaded a ridiculous amount of times. It's getting used millions of times every single week and month. And the reason being is your guests, our guests on Airbnb, they know now that they can get a better rate when they book elsewhere. So your travelers are more cleverer. They're smarter than what they were 10 years ago. Now, just a quick yes or no in the chat. Have you ever heard of Directo? Have you ever used Directo? There's a lot of no's, which is cool. So go and download the tool. Go and download the extension. Not now. Do it afterwards. Again, I've put the link in. It's totally free, right? And it will. It's a really good insight to how and where the future potential guests' mindsets are going. All right. So let's just recap and let me see if you're paying attention. Where are the 3 places on your Airbnb listing that you need to brand your business? Just type it out. Who's going to be the first? Who's going to get the gold badge? Bios, pictures, descriptions. Cool. Good. Sorry, typo. That's cool. Right. So again, we're on Gustavo's page, full context, right? We are on here, and hopefully, Gustavo, Gonzalo, you can see where you are missing the opportunity. So what I would love for you to do, or after the call, go and amend that first line of text. And if you need to listen to the recording, absolutely do so. Go into your bio, amend that first line of text. And then in future, when you've got some photo shoots coming up, you can add the pillowcases in here. Just out of interest, because I asked this question on the last webinar I did, and 2 people said they've done this. Have you ever, or are you currently doing the photo hack where you put your branding and the words book direct pictures? I was doing a webinar and we had 1,000 people part of the call. It was huge. 2 out of the 1,000 did it, and I was like, very, very cool. We went to look at the listing for inspiration. Okay, we've got a lot of no's, but hopefully you can do it in the future. Now, if he is feeling smart, if anybody's feeling fast, go and do the first line of text in your listing and do the first line of text in your bio, and then say mark done and paste in your listing, and I'll go show an example. Now, the reason why it's cool is that once you've got it in, that is what the guest is going to search. So we've got the website here, which is Prime City Host. Let me just assume studio apartment, Prime City Host in London. If I Google that, what comes up? It's the website. Now, the reason why that's key is that if I was to go and type in apartments in London, right? There is no way that Prime City Hosts are going to appear because Rightmove are there, yada, 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 Airbnb, blah, blah, blah. But because I am typing in a long tail keyword, because I am typing in something really specific, which is, let's just call it studio, whatever apartment. And because you're going to give it a brand name, it's even more keyword heavy, it's more unique. Then Prime City hosts London, Google is going to put up the website, right? And if I am directing people to put something in on Google, my website's going to come up first, and people will click on the first thing that they see because they recognize the brand name. You go onto the website. Hopefully your website is set up to take direct bookings. I would give this website a very strong sort of 8 out of 10. It's got everything in the right places that you need it to be. This is not a webinar about websites, but I would say to you here, Gonzalo and the team, solid 8 out of 10 effort. Just a quick question. If you haven't got a website, and if you need a website, elephant in the room, that's what Boostly does. Go ahead to boostly.co.uk/call, book a call with our team. We can help you get a website. So that is how we go from Airbnb, Billboard your listings, from Google to your direct booking website. Now, the reason why nobody's doing it for Prime City Hosts is because as soon as I land on this page, it is not clear who this is. We do not know who the business is. I can't Google the name. I can't find it. Right. There's another thing that I want to show you. And yes, you are doing it. So this is called the photo tour. Is it permitted by Airbnb to put a property management company name in the title of the listing? So this is very, very important. We're not doing the title. The title is something completely else, talking about the description. And yes, you can put your business name in the description. There's not against your Airbnb to do that. You could put your business name in here, but it's against the buyer. You do not put your business name here because this is very has to be keyword heavy, dependent on what your guests are searching for and what you offer. We'll come back to that in a minute. Now, the photo tour is another great place to convert a looker into a booker, but there's a little hack that I want to show you here. Now, the Airbnb photo tour, whether we like it or don't like it, Airbnb are prioritizing listings that have the photo tour feature turned on. Now, just give me a quick yes or no. Have you turned on the photo tour on your Airbnb account? Just give me a yes or a no. If you don't know what the photo tour is, just put no. Okay. Now, the photo tour is good because Airbnb will give it more priority, but it's bad because as soon as you click on here, your most important images just get muddled up. I really do not like the photo tour, right? I despise it because the best pictures aren't always your living room. Now, there's a hack that I want to show you. I've logged in to my extranet. I'm in my listing editor. Got a couple of dummy listings on Airbnb. They can't get booked. Don't worry. But I want to show you what I mean. So you turn a photo tour on, right? Now, when you are in your photo tour section here, you can see that I've created a section for living room and living room 2. Now, the reason why you do this is that with this property here, with this photo tour, everything in living room 1 will come up first in my photo tour, and everything in living room 2 will come up second. So the way that I structure it is that in living room 1, I'm going to put all of my pictures that best sell my property. So let's just say it's the view. Let's just say I've got a hot tub. Let's just say I've got a really cool bathroom. Say I've got a X, Y, or Z. I'm going to put them all in living room 1. And in living room 2, I'm actually going to put pictures of my living room, right? I'm going to save there. So when I go to my listing, which we're going to have a look at now. So this is here. And when I'm a guest and I click on here and I'm on the photo tour, you can see that living room 1 will have my best pictures. Now, that is not my best picture. It's just as an example. But as you can see, the way that they order the images on Airbnb, they start with the living room first. So it's a super cool little hack. It's a super cool little feature that you can get your best pictures right at the very top of the photo tour. Now, just a super quick yes or no. Have you ever seen that hack before? It is basically the equivalent of having your cake and and eating it. So again, super simple to do. So the way to get there, and I'll just quickly show you now, come into your photo tour. Okay. Come into the back end of your listing editor and click the plus button, and it'll say add photos or add a room or space. Click add a room or space and go to living room. Tap on there and you just add it in. Now, again, if I've gone too quick on that one, or if you're not quite following, watch the replay. The whole team is going to let you have access to the replay on this. Now, there's another cool tool that I want to show you before we move on to one of your ones. And if you want me to look at your listing, and particularly if you've made the amendments, drop the link in now, and I will do it after this. There is a fantastic tool called ChatGPT. You may have used it. You may have not used it, but if you are struggling with your listings and if you want listing help, there's a fantastic little tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my ChatGPT, as you can see it right here. Now, there's two forms of ChatGPT. You've got the main, which is here. So this is all the generic advice on ChatGPT. And you've got these on the left here, which are called GPT. Without getting too technical, and without boring you, a GPT is a specifically trained robot within ChatGPT that is trained on a specific topic. And this specific topic and this specific bot is trained on enhancing and perfecting your Airbnb listing. All right. It is totally free to use and you can all go and use it. If you would like for me to drop this link in the chat, just put ChatGPT in the chat below and I will post it in for you. What you are going to do is you're going to grab that link. You are going to save it to your computer and you can use this at any time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use it. So I'm going to come into Gonzalo's Airbnb listing. All I do is come anywhere on the page. All right. And hit Command and A. Now, can you all see it go blue? Right? That means I've copied the entire page. I'm just going to hit Control and C. And I'm going to come over to ChatGPT and I'm going to paste in the text. And all I'm going to write is read this information, then do nothing. Okay? So it's first step. The second step is that there is a very cool Google Chrome extension that's called Go Full Page. All right, I'll type it in here, Go Full Page, Chrome extension. It's a free tool. You install it to your Google Chrome, takes seconds. And what it does is it takes a full picture of your screen. So if I was to do a screenshot, I'd only get this. But if I hit this button here, it captures the full screen for me, as you can see here. And if I hit save, I'll put it onto my desktop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back into my ChatGPT and I'm going to upload said picture. I'm going to say, read this image and then do nothing. Okay, so I've fed the beast. I fed the robot. Now what I'm going to say is, based on your expertise, I want for you to do a full page audit of my listing. I want for you to then give me a ranking out of 10, 1 being awful, 10 being amazing. Then I want for you to rewrite everything and make this the best property possible. Just a quick one, Gonzalo. Who would you say is your ideal guest for that Shoreditch property? Is it couples? Is it workaways, digital nomads? Is it singles? Like, what would you say, just very, very quickly, if you're with me, who's your ideal guest? Just type it in the chat if you're still with me. If not, I'm going to make it up. You've got 2 families. Okay. My ideal guest and the people I want to put this in front of is families traveling to Shoreditch, right? It has taken me, what, 1 minute to type in that prompt and that command. So what it's now doing is it is going to give me a full page audit, okay? And it's going to give me a ranking. And then what it's going to do is it's going to give me the full rewriting, all right? And it's going to base everything off this specifically trained robot. So this robot has been specifically trained on Airbnb listings based on the best Airbnb listing advice out there in the world, even better than my brain. And what you're going to do for free, it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do to improve it. And it's doing it right now. So the first thing that it's done is it give it a better title. So instead of being Shoreditch Studio, it's gone, go Shoreditch Studio, spacious Shoreditch Studio for families, sleeps 5, zone 1. And it's giving you a couple of different options. Then it's giving you an opening description. Don't forget, this will go after introducing, let's just call it the Shoreditch Family Studio, brought to you by Palm City Hosts. Check out our online reviews, are really good. Welcome to a rarely spacious studio in the heart of Shoreditch, designed as a comfortable and practical base for families visiting London. So instantly, it's giving you that. Then it's got the space that it's being rewritten, and it's using emojis. Then it's got the next bit, the next bit, the next bit, the next bit. It's basically rewritten it for you, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm going to show you one more tool that is going to blow your mind, but is absolutely free to use. And it is called Claude. All right. Now, is an agentic browser. Now, I'm going to show you something that is pretty cool, and it's going to blow your mind. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come into this very super quickly, turn this into a prompt for an agentic browser to take over my screen and update and amend my Airbnb listing based off the feedback it has given me. Turn this into a 10 out of 10 prompt. All right. So what it's going to do is it's going to take this report and it's going to turn it into a command for an agentic browser. Now, agentic browsers are going to become very popular in 2026. Basically, with this, it's showed me what to do, but you are all busy, right? How would you like it where AI can show you what to do, and then it's going to actually do it for you? So to do this, what we're going to happen is I'm going to come into the back end of my listing, right? So you have to be in the back end of your listing, and you're going to go on this page, right? What you're going to do, take a little screenshot again with the tools that you have. Going to come into ChatGPT and say, I need for you to read this image and then give step-by-step prompts and show the AI agentic browser on where to make these changes. You are the first people that I have ever showed to. So this is like next level. You're about to get the updated version of the best advice that I have ever given. So I hope you really pay attention to this bit. Right. So this is the prompt that it is doing. It's showing and explaining to the AI exactly where to go and what to change. All right. And obviously, bearing in mind, it is basing it off what it's read there, which is the farm. So I'm going to do this little bit one more time. Let me just take this. Let me just take this. Let me take this. Okay. So now rewrite this one more time, but it is going to change the wording and everything to this. All right. So now it's going to take everything and it's going to change it to this. All right, here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come into this bit here. We've got listing editor. It's going to come into here. Now, Claude is spelt CLAUE.ai, right? It's a Chrome extension from Claude that you will install. Now, when you tap that button, again, it's another Google Chrome extension. I'm going to paste in this prompt into here, and it is going to take over and do this work for me. So it's going to be, you're an expert agentic browser assistant with permission to edit my Airbnb listing, take over the screen and access my Airbnb host dashboard and implement a complete high-level overview. So what it's going to do is it's going to take this over. I'm going to hit this button. And what it's going to do is it's going to take over the screen. So as you can see now, this top blue button here has gone different. This has got a little magnifying glass over. And what it's going to do is it's going to see all of this. And it's going to ask me the question. Let me review your current listening first. Prepare. You should use. I'll make the click. I'll verify each step. So prepare this one. So I'm going to say number 2. It's going to ask me a couple of questions. It's going to say, hey, Mark, are you sure you want me to do this? And then it's going to say approve. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to take over the screen. And while I go and make a cup of tea, while I go and make a cup of coffee, it is going to make all the amendments and changes based on what ChatGPT and AI has said to my listing for me. I don't even have to do anything. I can just sit back, make a coffee, and it will do the changes. Now, just before Gonzalo goes, hang on a second, is he going to change my listing? No, I'm just going to change my dummy listing here, okay? And then literally by the space for a few minutes, it will have done it for me. So I'm going to leave you with those 2 options, all right? Number 1, you could take it, you can do it yourself. Number 2, you can hand it to the robots with Claude AI, and it will go ahead and do it for me. So I'm going to do this, which is number 1, and off it's going to go. Everything that I have shown you today is all about taking a future potential guest from your Airbnb listing to Google, to your website, to book direct. I'm also showing you how to audit and improve your listings as well. Now, very, very quickly, I did say that I was going to look at one. We've got Lily's right here. Here's where I throw the question to you. I want to see if everybody is paying attention. Where in Lily's listing can she improve it? So number 1, put it in the chat description. Number 2, in the profile. Lily, here's a quick question. What is the name of your business? Is it Bulgaria Rentals Limited? Yeah. So again, you've got a website here. You've got Bulgaria Rentals Limited. Hi, my name is Lily. I'm the CEO and founder of Bulgaria Rentals Limited. Based out of Sofia. Check out my online reviews. They're really good. Just out of interest, Lily, I don't know if you knew this or not, but there is a conference, a short-term rental conference coming to Bulgaria this year. Did you know that? Very good opportunity to go and hang out with other operators from Bulgaria. If you didn't know that, go and check out on ChatGPT. Fantastic. I know Boris and the team really well. Please enjoy. So anyway, scale. Yes, that's right. So again, so number 1, the business name. This property needs a branding. It needs a name. Give it a name. Give it whatever it could be. This is XYZ, brought to you by XYZ, based in Sofia, Bulgaria. If you're struggling, ask ChatGPT to rebrand your listing. And number 3 is in the properties itself. Again, living room, photo to a hack. Obviously, apartments, you're kind of stuck, but I would be definitely showing these way up here because this is far too down for me to be able to show off that beautiful view and all that lovely stuff. And again, drive people from here to get them to go and Google search to find your website. We've got a question. I have a question. Can you give me any hack in which we can put our Instagram profile? Yes. What a great question and a fantastic way to finish. Now, if you were to type Instagram.com/Boostly UK, which is my handle, please go and follow me on Instagram. Come and say hi. Airbnb would shut that down instantly. But if you put IG at Boostly UK or IG without the at symbol UK, the Gen Z generation, younger millennials will understand what IG means. And they will go and find your IG account based off that. You can put the words or the letters IG. Great question. A little click here, see what it's doing. Approve plan, off it goes. So Claude is now going ahead and is doing all of the work. Now, as I said at the start, I've got until the hour. I've got until 7 o'clock before I've got 4 children kicking and screaming. I can literally hear them screaming on either side of this door. So, John, I'm going to have to love yous and leave yous, but I really hope that you all got something from that. Can I just ask a quick question? Between the numbers of 1 and 10, 1 being awful, I can't believe that you came on to show me, to 10 being, wow, my mind is blown, I literally cannot wait to get this going. Where are you sitting right now, like between 1 and 10? Just for feedback for me more than anything. All right. Okay, but you're very kind. 12, 11, 10. Thank you. I'm really, really glad that you enjoyed it. If you want to find out more, about Boostly or anything that we do, Amazon, unfortunately, Book Direct Playbook, that's a place to start. But if you want to potentially work with us and find out more about how you can work with us and how you can get to 65% direct bookings, please go ahead and book a call. If you book a call in the next 30 hours and mention this webinar, mention Hostify, I'll make sure that our team will give you a 15% discount off. And the big thing about working with Boostly, just very quickly, is that we will redesign your website. We'll set you up with all the direct booking systems that you need. And my mission is to get you to 65% direct. If we don't get you a return of investment, I'll give you all your money back. But basically, we really are here to help as many hosts as possible get to that good number of 65% direct bookings, get you more bookings that you can imagine. And just to give you an idea, most of our hosts are doing 59 times that return of investment. So really looking forward to potentially working and helping as many of you as possible. We work all over the world. We've got loads of customers in Dubai, loads of customers in America, Canada, UK, you name it, we've got customers. We've got over 2,000 around the world. So it's boostly.co.uk/call. We've got slots available to speak tomorrow if you're up for it. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you, everyone. Special thank you as well to Gonzalo to participate and to put the listing. As Mark mentioned, he has a website. We have a good collaboration with Hostify. So we'll send as well the presentation, everything that you've seen, so you can as well replay all the hacks that Mark has been showing you. I think it was great, more than a 10, it was an 11. Thank you, Mark, for giving these great insights. I'm pretty sure like many of them, they have homework now to do.
Yeah.
And many of them, they will contact you. And maybe that's like an integrate tool with your company. Yeah, we are already integrated. We have already an integration. So you can collaborate with Mark so they can design the website, and it's already working together with Hostify tool. So there is no issue there.
Amazing. I've just popped in the slides as well into the chat, just so anybody can go back and look at the slides and everything that I talked about. And yeah, the replay will be available. And yeah, looking forward to speaking to you.
We'll share as well the website from Mark and everything, so in case you want to contact him, and of course as well from Hostify. So again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mark. Amazing. Thank you for making a spot for us. So
thank you very much. Take care, everybody.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.